Sullivan, who has an update on the Middle East region.
Earlier today, President Biden spoke with Prime Minister Netanyahu, as you all have heard. The two leaders discussed the latest developments in Israel and Gaza, and they spoke about the state of Israel's military operations. The president emphasized his bone-deep commitment to ensuring the long-term security of Israel, and he affirmed, as he did in the State of the Union, that Israel has a right to go after Hamas, the perpetrators of the worst massacre of the Jewish people since the Holocaust. More innocent civilians have died in this conflict, in this military operation, than in all of the wars in Gaza combined, including thousands of children. A humanitarian crisis has descended across Gaza, and anarchy reigns in areas that Israel's military has cleared but not stabilized. The president told the prime minister again today that we share the goal of defeating Hamas, but we just believe you need a coherent and sustainable strategy to make that happen. The president and the prime minister spoke at length about Rafah today. The president explained why he is so deeply concerned about the prospect of Israel conducting major military operations in Rafah of the kind it conducted in Gaza City and Khan Yunis. First, more than 1 million people have taken refuge in Rafah. They went from Gaza City to Khan Yunis and then to Rafah. And they have nowhere else to go. Gaza's other major cities have largely been destroyed. And Israel has not presented us or the world with a plan for how or where they would safely move those civilians, let alone feed and house them and ensure access to basic things like sanitation. But a major ground operation there would be a mistake. It would lead to more innocent civilian deaths, worsen the already dire humanitarian crisis, deepen the anarchy in Gaza, and further isolate Israel internationally. On the call today, President Biden asked the Prime Minister to send a senior interagency team composed of military, intelligence, and humanitarian officials to Washington in the coming days to hear U.S. concerns about Israel's current Rafah planning and to lay out an alternative approach that would target key Hamas elements in Rafah and secure the Egypt-Gaza border without a major ground invasion. The Prime Minister agreed that he would send a team. Obviously, he has his own point of view on a Rafah operation, but he agreed that he would send a team to Washington to have this discussion and have this engagement. And we look forward to those discussions. So far, this deal has been more elusive than we would have hoped, but we will keep pressing because we regard this as an urgent priority. As I've said before, Hamas could, of course, end this crisis tomorrow if it chose to do so. And as I've said before, far too little of the energy and the pressure to end this conflict has been applied to Hamas. So we have taken steps. The president reaffirmed today the need for Israel to do everything in its power, and even more than it has already done, to address the humanitarian crisis. And obviously we saw a UN report today which Director Power of USAID spoke to quite eloquently. It's an alarming report about a possible impending famine if everyone doesn't do their responsibility to ensure we address that. That starts first and foremost with Israel, who has an obligation to step up and ensure that more is done to deliver food to starving people in northern Gaza. But it's also incumbent on us, the United States, and the rest of the international community to step up as well. Any kind of benchmark of being free or fair. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
שוחחתי הערב עם נשיא ארצות הברית ג'ו ביידן. דיברנו על ההתפתחויות האחרונות במלחמה, לרבות המחויבות של ישראל להשיג את כל מטרות המלחמה. חיסול החמאס, שחרור כל חטופינו, והבטחה שעזה לא תהווה יותר איום על ישראל, תוך כדי מתן הסיוע ההומניטרי ההכרחי שמסייע להשיג את המטרות הללו.
استنى نطلع عشان نوديين خليك تضل عشان نجري احنا بنجري يا احنا بنجري
جربوا لما يجربوا على الارض بنسبه كتير زياده. صادر بالغاز صدق حتى واحد من الدقيقة بتهود بالعجل هذا عشان الهواء فوق كتير كل ما يخف الهواء.
بدنا